She talks about how to implement different strategies to overcome addiction. It's not going to be a force of will. It's such a horrible, messed up thing to say to an addict, oh, why don't you just stop? Like, if it was that simple, I think people would stop. I don't think people would like consciously go to the extent to chase a substance or chase something that's going to ruin their lives or eventually take their own life out of the whole equation altogether. So in order to navigate addiction, you have to implement right strategies. These strategies that she talks about are called self-binding. There's different types. So you have physical self-binding, which is space. You have to be able to separate yourself from the thing you're addicted to. So if you're addicted to food like me, then you can't have sweets in the house. You're going to eat them. If you're addicted to alcohol, you shouldn't be at a bar. You shouldn't have these things in your vicinity so easily in your reach. So you need to get them away from you as much as possible. Maybe you're up all night on your phone. You need to put your phone in a different room. These are just different examples of physical binding. You have chronological binding, which is time. These are for people who maybe don't have such a severe addiction, but they can recognize this can be a problem if I don't nip it in the butt. So, like, maybe you only drink on the weekends. Maybe you tell yourself, I'm going to only be on my phone 1 hour a day, and maybe you put one of those screen locks and timers on your phone to tell you that you need to put this up after a certain amount of time. So that's a chronological binding, which is time. And then you have categorical self-binding, which has to do with identifying your triggers, figuring out what's going to make you stumble and get it out of the way before you actually get to relapsing. So, if you're addicted to pornography, maybe you need to stay away from R-rated movies, stay off Instagram where there's a lot of half-naked women. Maybe, if you're an alcoholic, you shouldn't be by a liquor store, by a bar. It's just different things you have to implement to keep yourself away from that. The idea is, there's a line you don't want to cross. Now, do you want to try to get as close to the line as you can, or stay away as far as you can? I think the latter is, the more ideal thing, because you'll find any excuse to relapse and give yourself a pass.